Become obsessed with growth. Now, this has been really insightful for me as of recently, not just wanting to grow, but becoming obsessed with that growth. Becoming obsessed with the idea of improvement, the idea of being the best version of myself. It's been so eye-opening for me. I read this book recently, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki, right? And he breaks down that growth should be broken down into growth of body, so physical, growth of mental, growth of emotions, and growth of spirituality. Now, that for me has been phenomenal in terms of, when you think about physical, going to the gym, improving health, what I'm putting in my body, whether that's substances in terms of alcohol or eating the right foods, like I said, going to the gym, and then emotion, being obsessed with not exploding, not giving people the reaction they want, but controlling your emotions, processing information and reacting how you want to react, so that you don't lead your life or lead your growth with emotion in terms of fear or anger or etc. Your mental health is so important. I cannot stress this enough. If you are not happy, if you do not believe in yourself, if you do not if you cannot take criticism, all of these things, your mental health will stop you from doing so much, from growing. It will, make you depressed. You'll be at home. I've had times where I've struggled with my mental health, and those are some of the worst times in my life for growth, because whether I'm blaming myself or whether I'm blaming others, I'm stagnant, because I'm worried about, why I'm not happy and why I'm not feeling okay or feeling up for something. And then spirituality again. Spirituality is at the center of my life now. It's not always been. I've always believed in God. I've always believed in Jesus Christ, but I didn't always have it at the center. I didn't always take the steps to grow spiritually. And I want to just break down each category, and how you can become obsessed with the growth within that category. Now, physically, so going to the gym is the first step. Going to the gym, waking up every day, whether you go to the gym every day, whether it's 4 times a week, 3 times a week, or once a week, is better than nothing. That's the first step. Now, the obsession comes in consistency, but also how you act in the gym. Don't just go to the gym and, let's say you're doing biceps and back. You do a set or 2 and you're like, oh, my arms hurt. You want to go home, or you want to change and do a different muscle group, that right there is how you either stay stagnant and you don't grow, or you lose the gains that you could be getting with obsession. Now, when I go to the gym now, or when I work out now, I don't just work out to feel tired. Being tired is, again, that's stage 1. I will go and go and go and go until my arms give out, because the reality is that obsession is going to create gains that I've never seen. And that also applies to mental. So if you are not obsessed with growth, right? If you are not obsessed with becoming the best version of yourself, becoming happy, becoming secure in yourself, your mental health will stop your growth. Your mental health will stop you from building your physicality, from building your spirituality, because you're constantly doubting yourself. You're constantly reminding yourself that you do not feel okay to do these things, or you're in pain, whether that's mentally or physically, so becoming obsessed with being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. If you can focus on developing this, you're going to go into the gym and want to kill your muscles. Sometimes I go to the gym, I want to hurt myself. And that's not in a sense of harming myself. It's in a sense of growing my muscles, growing my discipline, making sure that I'm not putting 50%, I'm not putting 75%, I'm not even putting 100, I'm putting 110% into what I do, because that is where you're going to see the real growth. You know, you'll see famous bodybuilders, you'll see famous gym bros, whatever you want to call them, say that growth is not in the first 4 to 6 to even sometimes 8 reps. It's those reps where you want to give up, but your mind will not let you, you know? And then when we think about emotionally, become obsessed again with controlling your emotions. You know, no matter the situation, you can be calm, you can be satisfied, you can control your anger. I've had moments in my life where I've lashed out, especially when I was younger. I mean, there was times where a girl would call me a big head, and I would want to genuinely harm that girl. And thinking about that now, that's crazy to me. But as a kid, I didn't understand about controlling my emotions. And even now, I have times where people might say something to me in the street, or they might say that I'm not good at something, or I'm not this, I'm not that. And my first reaction is emotion, react. And where does that get me? It gets me nowhere. It doesn't benefit me, not in any way. And all it does is give the other person what they want, which is that reaction. So living with control is definitely a key. Like, I've had times in my life where I've had good control of my emotions. I remember when I was going clubbing a lot, and guys would want to fight me over a girl, or over my girlfriend, or over my girlfriend's friends, or anything. Could be over a drink, anything. And I would say to them, look, at the end of the day, we can both harm each other tonight, but is that beneficial for us? If you really want to fight me, let's go, let's have at it. And that's not me being a tough guy, that's me laying down the cards. Whereas if you want to control your emotions and you want to prevent harm between both of us, let's do that. It's not an ego thing, it's not a pride thing. We've got two paths here. We either hurt each other and cause pain, or we control our emotions and have a good night and enjoy the rest of our night. And that's why I've never been in a fight. Because, I mean, I've never been in a fight because I've not really been in situations where I've needed to fight, but so I'm lucky in that sense. But in situations where it's been a choice, I've always been open with them and honest. I don't want to resort to this violence. So if you want to, we can. If not, let's enjoy our lives. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not worth you getting into that fight, you reacting, you acting in anger, acting in frustration, acting in fear, and then a police officer is calling your mum and saying, or knocking on her door and saying, your son's passed away, your son's been murdered, your son's been in a fight, caused him to trip and bang his head, and now you'll never see him again. Do you want that? No, you don't. So control your emotions. And again, I'm not perfect, but I'm working on this. I'm working on it every day, because I've realized how important it is to control the feelings within yourself and not allow somebody to bring that out of you so quickly. And now, spirituality. I've had so many periods in my life. So I grew up Christian, just to give you a bit of backstory. I'm not trying to force Christianity upon you. I'm trying to explain to you how spirituality has helped me. I grew up Christian, and I grew up Catholic Christian, in fact. And I always believed in God. I always saw the importance of believing in God. I always saw how it can be good for one's life. However, when I got to about between 14 and 17, I would say, even 18, I started to doubt my faith, because I realized I don't believe this for myself. I believe this because I've been taught to believe it. I believe this because somebody has told me to believe it. or my family believes it. So inherently, I do believe it. And the path without spirituality that I was going down was a dark path in terms of the people I was hanging around with, the people who I was trusting with my heart, the people who I, went to for advice. All of that negative. It did nothing but send me further downhill. No progress. Looking out for people that aren't looking out for you. And it wasn't until I went through a tough time that I realized, I was about 18 years old. This was, I think, a month before I started university. I realized this is the forefront of my life, my belief in Christ. And spirituality is so important, because I don't always know what dark forces are at play in terms of, affecting me in negative ways or influencing people to affect me in negative ways. So the armor, the weaponry you get with spirituality, the protection. Phone died. I mean, not died, the storage is full, but anyway. The protection you get from spirituality is crazy. And recently, I've become obsessed with that. I've become obsessed with reading my Bible, praying, sharing the gospel, watching even things like TikTok, right? Everybody says, oh, doom scrolling is so bad, you shouldn't use apps like TikTok, but it really is. It's about what you're watching. I'm so obsessed now with improving my spirituality that I'm watching Christian videos, I'm reposting them, I'm developing my feed so that even my TikTok doom scroll sessions are improving my life. And that's the key in terms of this message of this video. I want you to understand, become obsessed with that growth. Surround yourself with growth. When you're in the process of growing, do not half-ass it. Do not give it 50%. Give it 110%, because the results you will see mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, you will become as whole as you possibly can. Now, it's in my belief that we cannot become perfect, but we can become as close to that as we can within our capability. So go for it. Become obsessed with that growth and take the shot. Take those shots, because you're not going to grow without shots, and you're not going to become who you want to be without that obsession, without that, have that in your mind all the time. Did I do this as much as I could do it? Did I do it with as much oomph as I could have? Or did I give it less than 100%? Because if you did, then you need to self-reflect and you need to go for it again. You need to go back at it with 110%.